Seen this lady make a video about how biracial kids are putting down other biracial kids if you have a black mom and if you have a white mom. Now, does it make you any less or more black? I don't really think so. I think it's 1/2 dozen of the other altogether. Now, when it comes down to culturally, there is a big difference. Your mother is your nurturer. It's the one that shows you how to go through life. I could tell just by the way you're talking, your mother was white. I could tell by the way it comes off. Like, there's just a certain energy a black mother's gonna give to their kid that a white mother can't give to their kid. It's just not there. And I'm not trying to speak for the entire community of black people, but a lot of the time, if a black man gets married to a white woman, he has to suppress some of his blackness to cater to that white woman and their family. It just happens. But as a black women were oppressed for so long, they will never change how they move for a white man. So a white man will have to accept this black woman, how she comes and how she wants to raise her family. Think about it like this. If your father is black and your mother is white, your dad liked your mother for a reason. There's certain characteristics of the white woman and the white people he enjoys. So of course the mother of his kids will be teaching the baby how to be a lot like her. So put it in reverse. Think about having a white dad and a black mom. The white dad probably really liked the blackness coming from that woman right there. He probably really enjoyed that he was with a black woman. It was probably his favorite thing in the world. So he allows her to teach that kid how she sees fit.
The way that white women and black women navigate the world are completely different. We know that. And what a mother provides to a child versus what a father provides to a child is different. So the way in which a white mother would teach their children versus how a black mother would teach their children is based on their experiences, correct? So to say that there are absolutely no difference between having a white mom versus a black mom, when we're constantly speaking on how white women behave. And that's not to say all of the experiences are going to be different or how they're raising their children are going to be different. But the way in which people then choose to address certain situations or behave in certain situations is directly correlated with how you have been raised and how you feel like you deserve to navigate the world. And certain levels of entitlement that you feel come with who you are and who you come from. And let's not behave like there isn't this certain association with our mother's side of the family. Because people often say like, damn, like I don't want to be from my daddy's side of the family, or oh my God, like I'm going to be the aunt on the dad's side of the family. And that's because there's usually, not always, but usually a deeper connection with your mom's side of the family. So if you're a biracial and your father is the black one, and let's say you see your dad's family, but not that much, but you are around your mom's family more, and that entire side of the family is predominantly white, it's safe to say you're going to navigate the world differently if you are raised around predominantly black folk. Let's not pretend. Let's not pretend.
When it comes to mixed people, especially the black and white ones, it's like I could almost tell who had the white mom and who had the black dad versus who got the black mom and the white dad. Like Halle Berry, I know she had the white mom. I just feel it in my bones. The Rock, I know his mom was white. We all know Mariah Carey's mom was white. Patrick Mahomes, you could tell Patrick got the white mommy. Drake, we know. We know. Versus who had the black moms? Tracy Ellis Ross, Lauren London, she give that she got the black mommy. Who else? Lenny Kravitz, he definitely got the black mom. Bob Marley. Like, I don't know, you could just tell. I don't know how you could, like, I guess it's just the cultural differences. Like, a lot of people who have white moms, if their hair is very like kinky and coarse, they don't really know how to do their hair because their white moms don't know how to do it, versus the black moms who know how to do the hair. Like, that's just an example. Like, literally the other day, Patrick Mahomes was talking about his quote-unquote nappy hair. He don't even have nappy hair. First of all, let's not even call it nappy. We're going to call it kinky hair. He don't even have kinky hair. If you look at his hair texture, us black people call that the good hair. Patrick Mahomes have the good hair. That's the type of hair you could spray some water on there, probably fluff it out, and then you ready to go. He over here calling it nappy. And I'm just like, he's so uncultured, so unseasoned. You could tell his mom was right. And then he got his little white wife. She probably was the one calling it nappy. She probably said, oh, you and your nappy hair. And he was just going along with it. If he had a black mom, he would know his hair not nappy. He would probably know how to take care of his hair as well. Blase. Like,
Hi lovelies, my name is Olivia and welcome back again to the channel. So we there's been trending recently about the biracial kids raised by a white mom versus black mom. Okay, how is the experience? If the experience is the same or is there a difference? So it's not about love, it's about how the world treats the child. Okay, white with a white mom, raise might not come up much. Yeah, she might believe love will protect her child. But the world doesn't just see mixed. Most times it sees black. With a black mom, the lesson starts early. She knows what her child might face. So she teaches survival, pride, and how to move in a world that can judge them unfairly. So this comes from generations of struggle. Black mothers always have, they always prepare their child, their kids to survive, of course. White mothers don't always carry that history. So sometimes they don't see it coming. So it's not about who is better mom, it's about truth. Love is important, of course, but love alone is not enough. Biracial kids need both love and preparation for the world they are stepping into. Okay? So let me know what you think about this. All right. How do you see the whole biracial kid stuff in the comment section? And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and please support the channel by subscribing to the channel.
A biracial with a black mom and a biracial with a white mom?
This whole deal comes down to one thing and one thing only. Exposure to black people and black culture. It doesn't matter who your parent was as a mixed person. If you are not exposed to that black culture, you're going to come out weird. It's going to feel weird when you're talking to another black person and a black person is going to be like, it's like what happened with Hannah. Because her observation made black people go, that's what happened. That's why it was such an uproar. And also the fact that she's light-skinned and she's the beauty standard in black culture, that people jumped on the black women who were like, mind your business. You're very clearly not a part of us. It didn't matter if she had a black mom or a black dad or whichever she had. It didn't matter. It was what she was exposed to. She was not exposed to black culture very clearly. Very, very clearly. And the way she reacted also shows that she was not exposed to black culture. Because, again, all black people get their blackness tested, whether, even me. You see how black I am? I could call white by the way I used to speak when I was a kid. Because I had a Jersey accent. Because I came to D.C. with a Jersey accent. You talk white. The fuck you talk about? But yeah, it's all about exposure to black culture. Let me tell you a story. Quick. Real fast. My mother, my biological mother, has a sister. She married a white man. Mainly because my mother's mother hates blackness. So much so that when I got a DNA test, she got mad at me and was like, it has to be wrong because we're Irish. We're Indian. We're this. We're that. Literally everything else but black, right?
She was very upset. She was like, I need to see those tests. They have to be wrong. She was like, that's how she came out with me. And she was a Mormon too. So you know what the Mormons originally believed about black people? My mother's sister married a white man. All of her kids, literally all of them, none of them date black people. All of them are like really anti-black. They don't fuck with black people like at all. Like it's crazy. Like I try to connect with them and I was really just too black for them. I was way too black for these people. Not just in color either, because they're colorists too, but culturally, they don't fuck with black people, period. Like even the oldest daughter, she's LGBT. And man, these are conservative people. She married a woman, a white woman, her mama black. Can't even see the beauty in her own mother. So there you go. And also, again, none of them date black people. So again, this is all about what you're exposed to. My mother's sister didn't expose none of her kids to blackness, and all of them are black remedial. That's the best way I can put it. They're black remedial. They don't fuck with black people at all. None of them. It's the craziest shit in the world. It's not that crazy because I grew up with this as well. I seen black women have white daddies, white husbands, and all of their kids come out the same exact way. The same exact way. The same exact way we say that white mamas and black daddy, Big's children come out. Same exact way. It's all about what that black parent exposed that black child to. And we all assume because black men don't like the black family, or the black men who leave the black family don't love blackness, then we also assume that black women are the cornerstone of black family, that automatically that black woman would expose her black children to the black family. Especially now because they are pretty and light-skinned. Because that's a whole thing in colorism in black families as well. So they're going to show their kids out to their black family. Not like, obviously, that does happen, and it happens with black men who have white women too as well. So those whole things all happen. So it's all about what you were exposed to. If you weren't exposed to black people, then more than likely you're going to have a weird time with black people whenever you have your takes and black people react a certain way. That's just what it is.
Oh, black mom biracial versus white mom biracial thing to me sounds like, oh, it's different when there's an A and an E.
So let me start by saying that I respect what I believe that creator is attempting to do in his video, right? Which is combat anti-blackness, combat colorism, and make sure for people who are part black that there's a safe and welcoming space in the black community. That said, I find parts of his video to be extremely problematic, because it sort of lends itself to this idea that a conversation about a biracial woman being raised by a black woman versus a white woman is nonsensical, right? That it's an unneeded conversation. But that would inherently sort of like erase the real differences in a black woman's experiences in America and globally versus a white woman's experiences in America and globally, right? So we know that we live in a white patriarchal capitalistic society, right? And at the top of said society in terms of power and privilege is white men. But you can't then erase that, like, right under them is white women, because the operative part of our society is whiteness, right? Which is something that said black women don't have. In fact, not only do they not have whiteness and the power and privilege of white women, they're usually economically and power-wise at the very bottom of the totem pole, and very specifically black trans women, if we're getting into that, but it's a larger conversation to have. So when we're looking at the ways in which a white woman who's a mother and a black woman who's a mother would parent a biracial young girl or woman, you can't then erase the manifestations, or the ways in which rather that power and privilege that they hold are going to manifest in the raising of that child. And also very specifically the way that child is going to see the way that their parent, and their mother in this instance, operates as a human being in society, being someone who might not have privilege and someone who automatically has certain privileges based on their whiteness, right? And so again, like, this is not to say that everything is, you know, one way or another, that everyone who's raised by a white woman is going to be one way and everyone who's raised by a black woman is going to be a different way. But it is to say that you can't erase the conversation about the differences, because that would then erase the conversations around the real institutions and systems that we live within.
I'm going to hold all the biracials' hands when I say this. Give it to me. Hold it. Okay. There's a difference between having a black mom and a white mom. If you grew up with a black mom, you understand. You will identify and go through the world very differently than biracials who have white moms. And for the ones who have white moms, you're not going to get it because that's not how you navigate your life, because you have a white mom. There's nothing complicated about it, and there's nothing wrong with either. But the way you identify in the world is how you are raised by your mother. So again, if you did not grow up with a black mom, you will not understand. Okay, don't shoot the messenger.
Beyonce, as a propagandist, is starting a conversation about biracials with white moms, and people are asking, why are biracials with white moms having their blackness invalidated? And while I understand where that question is coming from, I don't think that that's what's happening. So we know that women are the ones that do most of the child rearing, which means women are the ones that pass down culture and socialization. Now, biracials with white moms are socialized under whiteness, and therefore the ways in which they view blackness is different. Kind of like those Little House on the Prairie girls. We knew their mothers were white and their fathers were black without ever having to do a Google search, and then they came back and confirmed that. So as a black woman, let's say I have a baby by a Filipino man, I am still going to raise that child through the lens of blackness and black culture, because that is who I am, that is what I know, and that's how I was raised. Now, it's going to be important to me for that child to also be immersed in Filipino culture and know that side of their culture as well. But at the end of the day, their day-to-day life is going to be lived through the lens of a black woman, because I am a black woman. So biracials with white moms receive completely different socialization and culture than biracials with black moms or black people with black moms.
My mom was a racist white woman, and she hated black people, which is crazy because look at me, guys. I'm black. I'm black. And when I tell you, she used to ask me all the time why I didn't have blonde hair, blue eyes, and light skin. I'm like, Mom, you're the one who ended up with the black man. Why are you asking me why I'm not light-skinned? Like, you should be asking yourself why I'm not light-skinned, okay? And throughout most embarrassing thing, throughout elementary school, through almost like beginning of high school, I would tell people I wasn't black because my mom was like determined and brainwashed me to believe that I wasn't black. So embarrassing. Why did people even talk to me? Like, I was adamant I was not black. And when they would ask me, I'd be like, well, I'm not black. I don't know what you mean. And they're like, what the fuck do you think I mean? So embarrassing.
This man got on here and basically was saying that he has his ex-wife. He's black. His ex-wife, I'm assuming, was white, and they have mixed race children. 2 of them have, I guess, pretty manageable hair. And then one of the children has very curly hair, whatever. He's basically saying like she hates the fact that she had 3 kids with this black man, and really he's looking for someone to do his daughter or son's hair. And the comments, oh God, they did disappoint, because a lot of people were saying like, you got to take accountability. This is what you chose. And I think when it comes to being in interracial relationships and stuff like that, there's a lot of conversations I do think actually need to be had before you make that step, or you say you want to procreate with this person. But if she's already saying like there had to be something about her or a sign that showed that she wasn't really ready to date interracially and take it seriously, and now your child has to suffer because of that. And there's a lot of biracial people that I feel like just on the internet in real life who speak about their experiences and saying, especially if you have a mother, a white mother, and saying that, hey, it's hard for us to connect because her experience in her life is different than what I have experienced. And so for him, it's just like, I really hope that he sat there and thought about like, damn, like I also procreated with someone that doesn't appreciate me, that didn't appreciate my color, didn't appreciate my culture, my struggle, and now my child has to suffer because of that. I hope he thought about it like that. And I don't think he did. And so when the comments said that, they were like, well, this is a part of that. And it even made me think about the statistics about interracial relationship and how a lot of times black men black men and white women have the highest divorce rates, but when it's flipped, interracially, white men with black women, they don't have a super high divorce rate. But it got me to thinking, like, if you are going to do it, like, was it not a priority to make sure that this person loved you for who you are? Not necessarily like to fetishize you. I just wanted to know that. I didn't put anything crazy in the comments because, like I said, I really do feel like he was just really trying to find somebody to do his daughter's hair. But when he explained the backstory situation, I'm like, so you laid down and procreated with someone who hates you and really may hate her. And because of that, it's treating the 1/3 of the child, it's subconsciously maybe treating her differently. God forbid she or he may be the darkest one. It's a sad thing.
But anyway, your mom is white.
My mother is not white.
Is your
Why
mom?
do people keep saying my mother is white?
She's West Indian, so
She is a black woman from Grenada, which is a black island.
she married a white man.
Well, I just saw a video of J. Cole and his mom. One of the reporters was asking her, oh, did you know that your son wanted to rap, or did you want him to rap? That's besides the point of why I'm making this video. Whenever someone brings up J. Cole, they say that he's black, even though he's biracial. I want to know why you don't hold biracial women in that same regard. I'm not talking about white passing biracials. Another example is Barack Obama. He was regarded as the first black president, even though he has a white parent. But for some reason, and misogyny has a lot to do with this, when biracial women say, yeah, I have a white parent, but I'm still black, you guys love to argue about it. Yet you don't argue when biracial black men say that they're black and everyone else says the same thing. Make it make sense.
Oh, black mom biracial versus white mom biracial thing to me sounds like, oh, it's different when there's an A and an ER.
The way you guys have discourse about mixed race people on here, in terms of whether or not they have a black mom versus a non-black mom, to me is very much correlated to the way you guys discuss interracial couples. When a black woman chooses a non-black spouse versus when a black man chooses a non-black spouse. I know this is not the place to have this nuanced conversation, this sort of anthropology-like thoughts, but I'm hoping you'll take it easy with me since I've got a pup with me. Stand down. Listen, I have no dog in the fight. I know I'm going to marry a black woman. I intend to. I choose that. That's my thought. But someone has to have a conversation between the way y'all look at, not everyone. I'm not saying everyone does this. Just the people that love, deep diving on this interracial stuff. The way you guys look at black women when they choose non-black partners, specifically white men, and you have sympathy for them, right? You assume that, they have had, bad luck in choosing a partner. So you tend to reserve, just what I've noticed, the sort of option for them to preserve their blackness and pass that down to their children in their household. When the reality is, you don't know how people were raised. You don't know if their, non-black partner is down to make sure they raise their kid as understanding that they have, a black background. Whereas with black men, the perception when they choose non-black partners is that they sold out. Oh, look, another black, especially with professional athletes. I get it. You are another black male who's not marrying a black woman. And therefore, because you perceive some sort of self-hatred, you perceive that it's not because they couldn't find a good black woman, right? There's less sympathy there. So I believe, I may not have communicated this all the way correctly, that there is some correlation there. All right? Because at the end of the day, like some people have brought up here, mixed race is mixed race. All right? I'm not here to cape for anybody. I'm just telling you, white mama, black mama, it's all about how you're raised, how radicalized you may be, how aware you may be, how informed you are of your race, cultural background, etc. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Let's go.
And just as a disclaimer, yes, I'm very well aware of the people that are smart enough to make the conclusion that if someone has a black mom, they will align more with their black selves because of the belief that women are more primarily the caretakers, and that's how culture gets passed down. But that conversation is way more complicated, way more nuanced than you guys are making it seem. In 2025, the assumption that women are just going to stay at home and only take care of the kid, that's that. You totally negate the grandmothers on the father's side, the aunts on the father's side, right? And you also, again, just feed more into the, I don't know, generalizations and things like that of men not being able to be caretakers. And it's a lot more complex. But I just wanted to make this video. There's a correlation. And that's all I got.
When I was younger, I used to be very prejudiced towards mixed people who had white moms. Not light-skinned people, but mixed people with white moms. Your mama could be Mexican. Your mama could be Chinese, Indian, whatever the fuck else. Hell, bitch, your daddy could be white. But if that mama was white... And I'm 22, so when I was younger, it wasn't a long time ago. Like, when I was in high school, I really used to be prejudiced towards people with white moms. I used to side at them, look at them differently than the rest of us until I started to feel for them. Until I got an understanding of what they actually went through. The good and the bad. Some had moms who didn't know how to raise a black child or explain to them or trying to find that balance and teach them how to be black. You know, because she's a white woman. And then there are those who had white moms who were assholes. Coming from racist backgrounds. Have an identity crisis. I genuinely, I genuinely feel for people who are not just people who are mixed with white moms, but I feel for mixed people who are mixed with white in general, but especially those with white moms, because I feel like they are outcasted, and it was once by me, and I honestly feel bad for treating y'all that way, because y'all can't help it. And though y'all are not fully black, y'all are white too, but y'all are black. Y'all are still one of us, even if it's not as a whole. Y'all still one of us. And I got a lot going on with TikTok right now surrounding the topic of colorism and biracial, light-skinned women and this and that and the third. And I did make a video saying that y'all are only half the part. It's true. Y'all are. But that doesn't mean that I still don't accept y'all for the part of y'all that is similar to me. Y'all are still black. Y'all just are white too. But yeah, like, I genuinely feel for y'all and I love y'all. And we all blackity black, black, black.
I'm going to say something controversial because I hate all biracial discourse that isn't explicitly about colorism, but this whole, black mom biracial versus white mom biracial thing to me sounds like, it's different when there's an A and an ER. Like, Obama was a mulatto, girl was black mom biracial. To keep it 100% real with you, I think the whole thing is dumb. I think the whole thing is dumb. I think that if you are biracial and you're black, you're black. Like, that's just it. Like, that's how it's existed in this country for the majority of its history, right? But I want to say this whole, separation, I think what it is, this whole, black mom biracial versus white mom biracial, I think that black mom biracials see the heat that white mom biracials are taking and will take anything to get away from it. I think it's a defense mechanism, and I think that's cool. I think that's the smart move. I think if people are giving y'all an out, if you can be like, wait, I'm biracial, but my mom is black, and then everybody just takes that heat off you for a second, solid. But that is a fair weather friend. That is a fair weather friend. Trust me when I say this. The sucking on the teeth of your oppressor thing, you get to be a black mom biracial, that ain't me. That ain't me, but trust me, if you posted a take, if you made an opinion that the folks did not agree with, and they found out you were biracial, it don't matter that your mama black. Let me know. They will turn that as a fair weather friend. That is a fair weather friend. You are an ally for now. All right? Don't get hyped up on this. Okay? I'm letting you know. They will kick your ass out immediately. You think that they're gonna be good to black women who date white guys? Come on. White dad, come on.
A black woman is going to have a much different experience than a biracial child to a white woman, because a black mom experience with racism and culture is what forces her to be aware in society, and so that influences how she raises her child. And women in the household tend to be the primary caregiver for their children, so the dad is just going to follow along. She's going to teach that to her child, which is going to influence the child to be a little bit more socially aware as well. Also, in the white man and black woman relationship, the white man tends to be more liberal and progressive in his thinking, not painting him as the white savior, but they tend to be a little bit more understanding and open-minded when it comes to diversity and understanding other cultures, whereas a black man will put his white woman on a pedestal simply because of the color of her skin, and she has the halo effect applied to her. White women know they have the halo effect applied to them, which makes them the quote-unquote standard in society, and so that dynamic is also integrated into the black man and white woman relationship. Because of the white woman's experience in this world, and she's constantly being put on a pedestal, and her dynamic in the relationship with her black male partner influences how the white woman raises her biracial child. The difference here is the black woman and the white woman have different levels of understanding what awareness is and how people of color are treated in this world. Because of the lack of awareness, the white mom initially puts the biracial child in a lot of white spaces, but then comes to find out that their biracial child is being rejected in those white spaces because those white people consider their biracial child to be black. So then the biracial child is put into black spaces and then realizes right away that they are being put on a pedestal because of their fair skin and their proximity to whiteness. And so they realize very early on that they can weaponize that and use it to their advantage. Whereas the biracial child of a black mom and a white dad is a little bit less likely to enter into a space like that head on because they've been raised to be a bit more aware because of the discrimination that the black mom has had to face, as well as they have probably had to face as well. So that same entitlement is not going to be displayed in the community. And I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but a biracial child to a black mom tends to be a little bit more culturally aware than a biracial child to a white mom, because the biracial child to a black mom doesn't carry that same level of entitlement because the black mom never had the sense of entitlement in this world, because society has told her that as a black woman, you do not hold value. So some of that same mindset and thinking is going to be carried over to the biracial child of a black mom. And just to clarify, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, it's just a little bit less likely. A biracial